So this video has nearly 1 million views, which tells me there's almost 1 million guys just like you wanting to get lean, plus learn the habits necessary to achieving an attractive body. So here's 5 highly underrated yet different habits that help me achieve a lean aesthetic physique and actually keep it over the last 10 years. But there's a twist. Instead, I'll tell you exactly how to best fail at each one, and then I'll quickly flip it. And I'll explain why this is powerful at the end, and in no particular order. One of the best ways to fail at building muscle and confidence is to be inconsistent. Whether it's skipping a training day every week or every second week, or you're consistent for a month and then you stop for a month because you simply have no motivation or it's too hot, and you do that throughout the year. In other words, you're consistently inconsistent. And for guys who do that, it's a reflection of their body. And in case you're wondering why most guys never achieve a strong muscular body and end up overweight and depressed, and I touched on this in my last video, things like hanging around the wrong people, but without being consistent, you'll only build an average body at best. So focus on being consistent, even if it means doing half a workout or 10 push-ups. Chances are you'll want to keep going. So be consistent, but doing just 10 push-ups forever won't really get you the results you want. And if more muscle and strength is what you truly want, then the next best way to fail at achieving an aesthetic body and more confidence is to go to the gym without a plan. Which means you'll have zero clue of what numbers you lifted in the past, let alone the last workout. Like, I've seen far too many guys rocking up to the gym, lifting light weights, using all the machines, and over several months, their bodies don't change. There are far more effective ways to build muscle and strength. My all-time favorite way is by applying minimalistic training principles, which they're not as important as these next few habits, but I'll explain later. And so to train without a plan is like planning to fail. Instead, if you want to guarantee gains, you must write down these numbers. Some guys carry a notepad. I like to use my phone. The idea is to know what numbers you managed last time and then know exactly what weight you need to lift this time in order for your muscles to tear and repair and then adapt, resulting in muscle gain, as well as your muscles to adapt to new loads. It's all progressive. There's no shortcuts to achieving what most guys are afraid to do. So have a plan, pair this with consistency, and you've got yourself a muscle and strength generating system. And of course, repeat. It's only in 6 months or 6 years you'll look back and think, I'm glad I never stopped. But you can't be aesthetic if you only put in time and effort in the gym. And yes, the next fastest way to become overweight and depressed, lose muscle, strength, and confidence is by eating whatever, whenever, however. There's no rules or restrictions. It's like eating at a buffet and you continue eating the same foods that caused you to gain weight. And just like Einstein once said, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is insanity. And I'm not saying you need to track every little thing, or anything for that matter. I mean, a lot of bodybuilders would preach tracking your macros, weighing your food, and maybe you'll get slightly better results. I don't know, but unless you're a competitive bodybuilder, there's no need to make things harder for yourself. And I say that from experience, but a lot of guys fall into this trap of, I need more protein, but instead focus on what you're actually eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And to make your life easy, I highly recommend my thirds rule, which I've been applying for the last decade. And it's nothing new, it's just an easy way to eat, exactly like the fitness influencers you look up to. So the thirds rule: carbs for energy, protein for muscle building and repair, vegetables for things you actually need, like vitamins and minerals. And you can tweak this to your needs. Of course, limit the amount of processed foods and unhealthy snacking. But the idea is you want to aim for balanced meals, and your body will reflect that. Just like an overweight body reflects an unbalanced life. Plus, you'll have higher, more steady energy levels throughout the day versus eating takeout and eating whatever, however, whatever. So 1/3 carbs, 1/3 protein, 1/3 vegetables. The third rule. So this next one is by far the best way to stay average. And it's okay to join a gym because you want more muscle and be more attractive. But in order to get the results you want and actually keep it, you must go deeper. You need to find your why. It's like tapping into your subconscious. The thing that's going to make you feel like you need to do this and increase your chances of never stopping. For example, in my last video, I mentioned a 5-minute exercise that you can do right now, where you write down reasons as to why you want to improve how you look. Write down as many as you can, the more the better. Then circle the ones that you feel really resonate with you. Then whenever you feel like this is too hard or you want to give up, pull out your phone and read over them. And it might be that you don't want to be like your dad or granddad. They make excuses, they're overweight and depressed, or because you hate getting sick every year and you want to be the best version of yourself. But basically, your why is the single most important thing to long-term gains, health, happiness, and success. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, or it's just for money and good looks, then you're planning to fail. So the next best way to have low energy, motivation, feel weak at the gym, and lower your confidence is to sleep at different times every night. We've all done this. We see our numbers going up at the gym. We then attempt a heavy weight.
It was at this moment that he knew.
And all of a sudden, we're confused. It's like seeing stock prices rise year after year and then suddenly fall. And we can all probably agree that sleep is important and it has a major impact on our day-to-day. But here's why sleep matters. According to recently popular neuroscientist from Stanford University, Andrew Huberman, sleep is the foundation of all mental and physical health and performance. And he's talked about how to optimize sleep and best practices upon waking. Things like sleep around the same time every day, increase body temperature by working out, delaying caffeine intake for 1.5 to 2 hours after waking. And these are just tactics for optimizing your sleep and energy, and therefore being able to be productive throughout the day. But the key here is to first be consistent with your sleep. Otherwise, you risk having low energy and motivation, causing you to start over week after week and never getting anywhere even close to your goals. And this is where you must prioritize the right things. And it's not easy. Like for me, I needed to stop gaming and wasting time with friends that I don't necessarily want to be around, and all they want to do is just have fun, which then allowed me to focus on doing things that contributed to my growth, which I could then offer help to others and actually do something with my life. Things like making YouTube videos for guys like you, working out, learning new things. I needed to make real changes in my life and actually prioritize doing things that I'm not gonna regret in like 10 years. The day you face what you're scared of giving up and doing more of the things that actually benefit you, that's when your life is going to change forever. Because gaming for a quick dopamine hit and doing what's easy, aka what most guys do, is gonna lead you down the path of bad health and depression. And that's why you should sleep around the same time every night. Seriously. And this next one's a bonus, and most guys do this. They'll sit around waiting for motivation to come. They'll say, I'll just go to the gym next week, I'll start fresh again tomorrow, diet, start. Shut the It's like sitting in a plane that's about to take off, and then every time it goes down the runway, it simply turns around and pilot goes, sorry guys, I can't be bothered, or I just don't have the time. I'll try again tomorrow. And it's frustrating as heck. And really, they're just excuses. Like, you can't even train for 2 minutes or do 1 push-up. If you can't make it to the gym, just do 10 push-ups today, 11 tomorrow, and then 12 the day after, and keep improving. Start small. That's honestly the fastest way to boost your confidence, build muscle, and strengthen the right habits, focusing on just taking action and improving each day. And the opposite is to be comfortable, to blame others for what's not happening in your life, to blame the government or your family, and that leads to mediocrity. The only person who has control of what you can and can't do is you. Focus on what you can improve and gain versus what you can't. Plus, who you hang around actually matters. Let go of the friends that they're just an anchor to your boat. Your time is valuable and no one's going to save you. Ask any retiree. Regret is literally the worst thing you can actually experience in your lifetime. And yeah, we're all going to die anyway. What's the point? And that's exactly what an average guy would think. Take action and improve 1% every day. Small daily steps. Work out for 2 minutes, read 1 page, and once you start, chances are you're gonna wanna do more. So stop waiting for motivation because it's only going to come after that first step. Plus, if you want a copy of my exact minimalistic workout program under 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week, free download link below. But if you're just starting out with this whole building muscle and strength thing, check out my last video on how to actually get lean, a beginner's guide to aesthetics and confidence. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't. Have an amazing day. Bye. At the start of the video, I said I'd explain this concept of telling you how to best fail and then flip it. And I got this idea from Alex Hormozi, a popular YouTuber and millionaire.
And the reason I'm framing it that way is because Charlie Munger, my personal hero, had a seminal talk that he gave multiple times on how to live a miserable life. And the reason he gives it that way is that he believes in a process called inversion thinking, which is where you solve problems in reverse. So for example, if you want to have a good marriage, rather than asking the question, how do I have a good marriage? You ask the question, how would it destroy my marriage? And then you list out all the ways to destroy your marriage, and then you do the exact opposite of that. And what's interesting is that our brains are much better at finding